Hello, everyone. This is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and I just got home from doing my 6-hour workday. And to be honest with you, sometimes working stinks. Sometimes working's fun. I have this large account that I've had for probably 6 years or so, and I don't want to sell it. I don't really like doing it. I don't like the new administrator. He's got this massive ego, and he treats people like, he. I'm not trying to be friends with this guy, by no means. So just some people stink, and sometimes you have to be around people that are no fun to be around. So you take the good with the bad. I'm not whining or complaining or anything. So it's gotten warmer out, and things are starting to grow and multiply in size. And that means the phone starts to heat up, and more people are calling and asking questions. I got a phone call this morning about someone's salt softener system. I'll talk to anybody about anything. You call me up, I'll talk to you. What do you want to talk about? Salt? I'll talk to you about salt. So they want me to put some salt in a softener for them. I'm good with that. I'll do that. Today I had to do something from one of the maintenance supervisors. Where I have this large account, I work for a maintenance supervisor. And sometimes you feel over the barrel. In this situation, he needs me to do things for him at his house sometimes, and I feel like if I don't do it, then I lose favor with him, and then he may call someone else, and then that person may get that big account. So I feel like I have to kiss his donkey beep beep, in order to keep an account. We find ourselves falling into that same trap with friends. Well, if I don't do this, I'm going to lose his friendship. So he asked me 2 weeks ago, can you come over and clear out the back area of some property that doesn't even belong to him? I think they're building a house behind him, and they didn't clear all the way up to his property line, and there's a common area, I think, that's in between both lots. And he doesn't like looking at it when he's out barbecuing. So when you have tools, people are going to call you and they're going to ask you to do things. Sometimes you're not going to like doing it. That thing someone wants you to do, you're not going to like it. He's like, don't charge me too much, When someone was supposed to be there to meet me, and no one was there to meet me, I got lost going there, I get there, it's one of those, there's a hole with a snake in it or not. You don't know what you're getting yourself into until you reach into the hole, So I get there and I assess the situation, and no one's there. I'm like, I've already wasted 30 minutes of my morning, and that's why I got home, a few minutes late, which is all right. I went ahead and tackled the project, and it's easier to beg for forgiveness. So I just did it. I did whatever I thought he and his lovely bride wanted done. And now I got to figure out what to charge him, because he already said, "Oh, don't charge me a lot. What are you going to charge me?" You know, and I primed him up. I'm like, what's a service guy charge to go out to your house? You know, I'm gonna I'm using my money to drive over to your house, you know. And he laughed, ha ha ha, that's funny, you know. So I got it done. I'm running behind now. I'm grumpy. I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm doing something for someone else I don't want to do. But I felt like I had to. It's like a Band-Aid, you rip it off, you know. He's going to be happy with what I did. I'm going to forever have that account until I get rid of it. I might stop doing it next year. I don't like the administrator, and I don't need to do it, but I don't have anybody that wants to learn how to do that account. I hired Brandon and was training him on the account. I spent 2 months training him on that account. I was gonna have him mow and maintenance and trim and take care of a lot of these accounts. I've had like 60 people work for me. You know, and you can't say I've hired the wrong people. They all have been wrong, you know. Doctors and lawyers aren't answering my ad in the newspaper, you know. I'm getting guys that, you know, have criminal backgrounds and are, you know, trying to straighten their life out and stuff, and they're trying to shed their old skin, you know. And it's been a big fat wah, 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 because I can't find anybody that wants to learn how to do what I'm doing. I thought Brandon was going to be the guy that stole everything. Somebody commented that I'm just too nice, I'm too this. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to hire somebody to work for me, you know. You know, I mean, during the interview, I want to attack him with a set of nunchucks or something. You know, I'm being nice and, you know, trying to sell them on the fact that, you know, working for Russell Does Stuff's a great idea. You know, it's a different ball game out there now than when I was growing up. You know, most of the employees I were around when I was younger, you know, they may not have liked the job, but they did it, and they had respect for the boss, and they showed up, and they were on time, and they worked hard, and, you know, I mean, I'm not saying there's not a lot of people like that out there, but they just don't come around. They're not around my life, you know, answering my ads and things, you know. You know, and I know that I don't have to be out here doing this if I can find someone else to do it, you know. When you hire an employee, it's an investment, you know. It costs you money to get them up to speed. You know, you may have to buy them a work shirt, gloves. I always buy these new guys, and they're always broke. I don't have any money. You need a hat. You need sunglasses. All right. You need shoes. You know, and it's wrong buying them those things, but they won't buy them for themselves. So I'm taking an employee out to a job who still looks like the day he started working for me, you know. And I always tell him, if you know you want to buy your own stuff to work in, you know, it all belongs to you and you keep it, you know. Set aside a little bit of money and invest in yourself, you know, and then take the clothes that you're using to work with me and go run a little side hustle in your neighborhood or something, you know. I don't know. I haven't been able to crack the code on that one, you know. So it keeps me in shape. It's lonely out there when you don't have an employee to talk to. And you know what? That's okay. So I got the boss man's project done. I have no idea if he's gonna like it or not until he gets home for supper tonight. No news is good news, so if he doesn't text me or, reach out to me, that means he's happy or his old lady's happy. I'm gonna let a couple more accounts go because they're just out of my area that I want to be in. I want to, instead of going in circles, I want to travel in straight lines now. I want a straight line to where I'm going and a straight line coming back. I used to work in circles. Go as far away as you can and then work your way all the way back and go in a circle. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go back and forth. I don't know too many people that would work for people that aren't very nice to them. And I tried to be tough and it's just, I'd rather be friends with employees than their boss, That's why I hired managers. I was successful at it, I don't want to scale this. I don't have to scale this. I don't want to scale this small business I have now. I can do it. I can scale this business in about 3 months. I can hire a manager, I can hire salesmen, I can hire employees. The rule is you're supposed to have 3 employees in a truck and hire in a 4th one and just rotate. I just don't want the hassle, To me, it's not worth it, hopefully we live to be in our 80s or so. Charles Bronson, he died when he was 81, and he was one of the toughest dudes on the planet, and he didn't make it out of his into his 90s. He didn't make it out of his 80s, So what would scale in this business do, but cause more headache, more stress, more things to think about and more things to do, So those are the thoughts in my mind today. I'm gonna get my dog's, I don't even know what you call it. It's a round thing that you put on the ground and you attach a garden hose to it, and it's a big plastic puddle that you fill full of water, and the dog's running in and out of it. We used it yesterday, and I think he liked it. So, well, to sum up everything, sometimes you have to do things you don't like to keep doing the things you don't like. All right, well, this is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for stopping by, and catch you on the next one.